First time cooking in the new van while also being able to stand up. So tonight I am making something that is a little bit out of my comfort zone, I guess you could say. I've never tried it before. It requires a lot of ingredients, and I basically have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I'm gonna try to make an Indian style dish, a chicken tikka masala, I guess you could say, but I'm not gonna be using chicken because chicken's expensive, so I decided to just get cauliflower, and I'm gonna use chickpeas instead for a little bit extra protein and kind of go with it from there. Right now I'm doing the rice. The rice is pretty easy. The hard part comes after that. It's been a little strange getting used to like where I can stand in this thing. I keep thinking I'm gonna hit my head on the ceiling, so I'm walking around like this in here, but in reality, like, I'm definitely not gonna hit my head on the ceiling. Also, I think my favorite feature might be this little temporary shelf that gets put right here when you put the top up. Now I can like line up all my spices and all my ingredients and then just start dumping them in. I feel like I'm a chef in here. Somehow the Instant Pot manages to cook rice perfectly every time, at least in my experience so far. It's been pretty amazing. I used to struggle a lot with making rice. It seems like those days are long behind me now. On the other hand though, making the actual tikka masala was incredibly complicated. I forgot to film most of it because I was so focused on what I was doing. It's just a mixture of like a lot of different spices. You started out with onions, obviously you're sauteing onions and then some garlic in there. And then all of a sudden you're adding in like cumin and chili powder and whatever this is, turmeric. I don't even know what half of these are. I just bought them all because I was following this recipe. I'll put a link in the description below to the recipe that I use. But garam masala and like pepper and salt and like all these different things. I completely forgot to put the cumin in there. Like I completely forgot it. So like I might be able to add that later, or it might just be a lost cause at this point. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, guys. Once I got all the spices and everything blended together though, it was pretty simple from that point on. I added some diced tomatoes and then some cauliflower, which is what the recipe calls for. And I also added some chickpeas as well to get that extra protein, like I said before. Seal it up, and now I just need to pressure cook it on high for 2 minutes. By the way, I know that a lot of you guys asked about the Instant Pot in the last video. That is what I'm cooking with full time now. It is just the 3-quart. It's the small Instant Pot, and it draws about 750 watts from the Kodiak when I'm using it. So it works really well for cooking. You know, I wouldn't be able to feed like an army and just do this all night, but for just me or for 2 people, if I'm making something up really small like this, it definitely does the job. I have to let the solar obviously charge up the battery again all day tomorrow. I don't know if I could do this multiple nights in a row. I have to be smart about it, but as long as I plan my energy and plan it around sunny days like I have right now, it seems like it's going to work out really well. It's the moment of truth. About to find out what it looks like in there. I think that's what it's supposed to look like. I think it tastes really good. It has a lot of flavor, although I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what this is supposed to taste like. I've never had anything like this at an Indian restaurant, at least not that I can remember, so it could taste good to me, but I mean, I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if it's authentic or anything like that. Definitely something I could see myself making again though. I'd say it was a success. So my first goal for the day today is to try to address a couple of problems that I've been having with the setup inside the NV over the past few weeks. They're not really major issues or anything like that, but just kind of annoying things on a day-to-day basis that I know I can improve and make a little bit better if I just spend a little bit of time focusing on it. So that's what I'm gonna do this morning. I'm parked here at Home Depot. I can run in and get things if I need to. I don't know if I'm gonna need anything. I ordered a few things on Amazon to help with this as well. The first major issue that I need to address is this guy right here. This is my guitar. If you notice, it's in a really awkward position right now, and it's blocking the door, so I cannot access the door. It's also on top of the fridge. It makes it really hard to open up the fridge, and it's on top of the Kodiak as well, so I have a really hard time plugging things in and unplugging things and stuff like that. It's just not a good spot for it, but it's really the only place that it would fit the way that it is right now. My proposed solution here is to get rid of that old gig bag that I have, which I kind of need to do anyways. It's at the point where it doesn't open anymore, like the zipper doesn't work, which is really really annoying when you're trying to take the guitar out and put it back in. So it's probably time to ditch that anyways. And then I'm gonna mount the guitar to the wall right here. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to drill into the metal and mount it. The catch is that it can't stick too far out off of this wall, because then I won't be able to fold the bed up into Murphy mode. I've measured it out. It should work in theory, but I'm not really sure how it's gonna all play out in practice. I bought these interesting little guitar mounts, these horizontal guitar mounts that are designed for walls to put your guitar in this kind of way against any kind of wall. So I'm gonna try to use these and see if it all works out. I am gonna be drilling directly into the metal. You know, a few weeks ago when I was building out the van, I would have never wanted to do anything like that. I was not comfortable with it, but after seeing GTRV drill like 100 holes into the roof and then cut this giant gap into it here, you know, it's like, what's a few more holes gonna do, you know? At this point, I'm pretty comfortable doing it. I don't think it's gonna matter too much, so wish me luck, guys. I'm gonna give this a try. It's the moment of truth. It's gonna be close. I'd say it fits almost perfectly. It has a little bit of wiggle room to be able to move, but it's also really protected by the padding of the bed and the comforter. I think this will work out. It's probably not going to get damaged like this. It's definitely far from perfect though. These guitar horizontal wall mounts here are a little bit flimsy to say the least. These ones I was able to screw in all the way with both of them, but the neck mount here, I could only use one of the screws because it's not wide enough. The metal column here in the van is not wide enough, so I was only able to fit one in, and it's a little bit wobbly. I don't know how long this is gonna hold up, guys, but for now it seems like it's pretty sturdy. It's gonna hold the guitar in place. I'm probably gonna try to experiment with some bungee cords. That's why I have this one out here, and try to figure out a way to rig it up so that when I am driving it doesn't fall over. Not that it would be that bad if it fell onto the soft bed here, but you know, I'd like to keep it in place as best I can. And the best part is, for the first time in weeks, I have this large gap here to be able to open and close the side door. I can open my fridge now. It's not gonna be a pain to get it open, and I can access the Kodiak, plug things in, use the inverter and everything. This is definitely a lot better. My second goal for the day is to try to figure out a way to mount these three items that I have here instead of under my bed. There's a section underneath the Murphy bed, but I have that specifically designated for something far more important than my tripod and my camping chair and then the pole for my table setup. So I want to figure out a way just to secure them here. Right now, if I just leave them like this and I'm driving, they'll fall over and they kind of get in the way and everything like that, and they make a lot of noise. So I'm thinking maybe like a mesh setup, some sort of like a almost like that elastic mesh that they make. Try to figure out a way to just kind of get something like that and secure it up against the wall. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find that at Home Depot though, so I might try a bungee cord instead. I'm also thinking I could use that mesh style setup for the guitar as well if for some reason the mounts fail there, but for now I think it's gonna work out. Nothing too fancy, but it'll definitely do the trick. By the way, the important thing that I mentioned a few seconds ago in this video, I don't want to go into too much detail about it because I don't actually own it yet, but it is going to go in this space right under here, under the Murphy bed. That's the whole reason that I created that space from day one. And let's just say I've described this thing before as something that I miss the most about not living in an apartment. When I lived in an apartment, I had one of these, and I absolutely loved having it, and it's probably the only thing that I miss about not living in that apartment to this day. And for the last few years, I have not had one, and I cannot wait to get one at some point in the future and put it right under the bed here. Next stop for the day, it's time to head down to the coast. There's a really fun swell in the water right now, and I just really want to surf. So I think I might have just found a new favorite wave, at least for the time being here. It was a lot of fun. That was all in Santa Cruz, so I surfed Monday evening, ended up finding a place to stealth camp a few blocks away from the beach for Monday night, and then Tuesday morning I rolled out of bed. That was yesterday morning, and got a few more hours in before I had to head back up to the city, back up to San Francisco here. But it was a lot of fun, really fun Northwest swell. That place is pretty much a regular footer's paradise. It is an amazing right-hand point break, so definitely pretty awesome. And then I had to come back into San Francisco, had a couple of meetings for that project that I've been working on, and I can't really go too much into detail about what I've been doing with that because it's still really in the early stages and everything like that. I'll keep you guys posted on how things are going with that and how it progresses over time, but like I said in the last video, it's probably going to keep me here in the Bay Area at least for a little while, and hopefully I'll be able to make some more trips though down to the coast and get a few more waves like I did these past couple of days. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all in the next video.